Hey, yo, peace to the universal family. What's good? Earth say love on the check-in, also known as Sophia, Asia, Jasmine. Welcome to the show. You'll have to pardon me. We had some unexpected things come up last Monday on March 6th, so we were not able to go live. But I'm back today, and I just wanted to come on and build just a little bit and really open up the doors actually for some recommendations, requests, and see what kind of content y'all are interested in having on the weekly program on the live. So for those, if you're just hopping on, this is our out. My commitment is at least for the month of March. This is something I'm striving to do regularly, but we are kind of, again, this is a smooth, what do you call it, a soft launch. And we're striving to do it at 4 o'clock on Mondays for this particular topic, and also at 4 o'clock on Wednesdays for another theme. And they're both pertaining to my mentorship and advocacy program. I am a full-time survivor mentor, and one of the challenges we often face is just that our clients their placements often change a lot. They may not be in the same placement. They may go from being in the home to a group home or a foster home or a safe home or a JDC or various SIP placements or other placements. So or other relatives. It really depends. Not all my clients have that scenario, but many of them do. And one of the challenges we face is that continued contact. That's something I do pretty well under the circumstances, but sometimes there's just placements that maybe they for example, a safe home. They may have more restrictions on who they can have in the program or how frequently they can have visitors and that sort of thing. So it really depends. Um, so maybe I need to take a couple steps back for those coming on. You might still not know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm a full-time survivor mentor. That's one of my day jobs. I've got two. So the other thing I do professionally, I produce jazz radio. I've been in both of these fields for a very long time. I'm also an artist. But yeah, I'm still learning the business side of that. So that's just like it's not on pause. It's just like building behind the scenes. And in the meantime, I'm passionate about everything that I do. I'm an artist. Radio producer, but I'm just really passionate about, giving back to the youth and, showing them some positivity, giving the youth some positivity because proper education always corrects errors. And not all youth have, adult figures in their life. Not all of their parents are necessarily could be there, or they might just, it varies, of course. And specifically for my girls, often they're no longer in the home. Some of them are, and so yeah, basically, uh, like I said, I've been in the field for a very long time, but specifically in this role, I've been a survivor mentor now for 7 years. I work with an organization called Sailor Freedom. I do collaborate with other organizations as well. And yeah, so basically I get girls referred to me, and we really develop a one-on-one rapport, and I work with them and alongside them and build them up, and really work on their strengths, building up their confidence. And the one thing that they all have in common is that they were all in some shape, form, or fashion targeted or at high risk for human trafficking. So some of them are survivors, some of them may not be, some may not identify as that. So I keep that a very broad stroke on that they were all in some shape or form targeted or at very high risk. And for that reason, they were referred for a mentor to walk alongside them and help them really understand the landscape of their environment and how to navigate that in order to survive. You know what I'm saying? So um, we call it in the field, we call it survivor mentor. I also like to think of it as a self savior or mentor. Although there is an element of survival, of course, definitely an element of survival in all of this. Um, really, in that state of growth and development and understanding, what it takes to be a survivor and an overcomer. You also have to take that self accountability to save yourself from that environment. So I tend to think of it that way. It's also, still the letter S, survivor, self savior. So I think of it that way, as being your own self savior. And as a mentor, I'm basically a master at my craft of being a survivor, of being a self savior, right? So that's how I see that, as being really just having mastery in this art. So it's, although I'm a master, it's always a learning process. It's never stagnant. You never reach the end of this road. You're always learning and building and adding on. So yeah, so I mentor these girls, and as mentioned, I saw that there was, I always notice there's certain gaps in certain systems, and every program is different. Ours is rather unique. I'm on the road a lot. I, visit my girls one on one a lot, so I may be in different places. Um, there's no specific central location. Uh, well, other than where the contract is, and where the organization is rooted. Other than that, so yeah, the organization is rooted and based in Sarasota, and then we're contracted here out in Central Florida, but I travel all around. And yeah, as mentioned, there's just, because we're formatted that way. In other programs, they may have like a drop-in center, like a place where girls can go and do groups and do activities. Whereas I'm always on the road, like striving to bring that to them one on one or on the phone or Zoom, which is great. But I did notice there might have been some gaps, with certain programming we could have. So that's why I'm kind of like soft launching and developing this concept of having, you know creating some content. Again, I'm doing this on my own channel, so I do have the safeguard of being able to, upload things and take them off if I feel like, maybe that wasn't that good, or, um, just having that creative control. Although I do know, once you put anything on the internet, it's kind of like up for grabs until you take it down, and then, depending on what happened to it. So that's always something to be aware of. But, I'm developing this on my channel in order to at least have a little bit more safeguard in this early development phase. And yeah, so I just want to also open it up to my girls and any of my viewers. Um, Although this is a resource specifically for my girls, I realize that it may be utilized in programs where some of them stay at. It might also just be something that my audience listens to and has questions about, or um, maybe they have a need for it with their children or so forth, depending on their age group. So I just wanted to kind of open it up. And I have certain concepts and things that I'm working on to put together. So I'll have better, more professional presentations week by week. And then this will be content that, if they go well, if these presentations go well, it'll be something that people can go back to and see on my channel and refer back to that introduction or that topic. So I wanted to just open it up. Pardon me, I just feel like my hair is too frizzy today. um, yeah, I just wanted to open it up and see if there are specific topics that you all would love covered. I've had recommendations, or requests rather, maybe to speak about respect, what having respect means, or, to do like a cooking class to teach some of my girls like how to cook certain things. So it's pretty broad, the requests I get. So, but again, to go back to kind of like what mentorship is about, for those that don't know or just want to know more, essentially it's having someone walking alongside you that's already been where you've been at. So being that I had that background where I was in and out of the system, and I had to navigate that territory and find ways to protect myself from the dangers in my environment, I do well, walking alongside these girls, and also just is teaching them, life skills that maybe someone else is not able to show them or teach them. So a large part of mentorship is just developing that rapport. Also the awareness and education surrounding prevention, prevention of exploitation. And in order for that, of course, we got to talk about what that looks like, what that means. So that gets into, the specifics of human trafficking, sex trafficking, exploitation, labor trafficking, all the above. And then just, unhealthy relationships, that ties into just what is a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship. What does it mean to have boundaries, and how do we develop boundaries if nobody has taught us how to have them? And how do we know what our boundaries are? So that process of self-discovery. And then also, mentorship is about learning how to advocate for ourselves, how to use our own voice to advocate for our needs, and the things that we feel are right for ourselves. Then, of course, life skills. So, having strong boundaries, having a strong voice, being an advocate for ourselves. Again, that's why it's the mentorship and advocacy program, because there's a lot of advocacy that goes along with this, both for my girls and also educating my girls how to advocate for themselves. And then beyond that, like I said, life skills, education, vocation, how to maintain the home, how to clean, how to cook, you know, all those life skills that somebody else may not have taught them. And then beyond that, depending, it's a kind of case by case basis, how long they stay and further develop themselves in the program. So yeah, so I just wanted to hop on, reintroduce what we're working on, which will be every Monday for the month of March, and inshallah, ongoing, God willing, it will continue. So this is the Mondays, or the Mentorship and Advocacy Program theme. So I just need y'all recommendations. You can leave a comment. As a matter of fact, you can comment and just say, you know what, I want to know more about this, or I have this question, or whatever it is. It might be something that personally you want to know. It might be something that, like I said, if it's an adult with a child, there might be something that you see a need or a gap for. So I'm just opening it up. Even the programs, I'm sharing this with different programs and case management, um, and requesting any input, feedback, any request, specifically, yeah, like I said, placements, in case there's anything that they see in their program, there may be a gap or something. We do, the organization Sailor Freedom does also provide trainings. So that's, we do have prevention education. That's not something specifically I'm looking to do on these lives, or these are probably, but we'll see how things develop. But that is something we do have available. If you're interested in training, then yeah, you could visit sailorfreedom.com and visit the prevention team, and we should have our trainings listed. So that's one option as well. So yeah, thinking if there's anything else I'm missing here. Oh yeah, Wednesdays. So Wednesdays, 4 o'clock, the concept is that will be our Women's Empowerment Day, Wednesday. So yeah, the M for Monday, the W for Wednesday, just to kind of keep track. So that is more going to be centered on celebrating our wins, celebrating other women, other role models. And as I've said before, I don't know where I'll be celebrating my brothers. I definitely celebrate y'all and include y'all. Not sure where that's going to fit at this point, but rest assured, I got all y'all back as well. But being that this is a mentorship program for girls, I definitely wanted to highlight women, and just to show and prove the successes that women are doing, or even bringing some of my graduates on and maybe sharing some of their poetry or some of their work, some of their successes. So that is the concept. If you do have requests, questions, please just simply comment. I will do my best to respond to everybody, especially at this point in the game, where everything's very fresh and new. And when I'm on live, you can always hop on the chat as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for right now. You can follow my links as well. Please subscribe. But you can also follow my other links through earthsaylove.com. All right. I'm going to be back, y'all. Peace.